all set to begin our next presentation. I'd like to introduce Tim Wormus from Siemens, who will be talking to us. Thank you, Tim.
All right. Thank you, folks. I appreciate the chance to brief you all on MindSphere 3.0. This is our release on the Amazon Web Services platform. So this is the next step in bringing MindSphere to the market. And though this is a major release for us, fundamentally the vision of MindSphere hasn't changed. What we want to do with MindSphere and the impact we think MindSphere can make is still. Oh, whoops. Just a moment. My stop this. Apologies. So. Again, MindSphere, the overall vision hasn't changed. We continue to see this as the entry point for digitalization. So we believe that in order for organizations, manufacturing and industrial organizations to transform themselves and take full advantage of the capabilities that we are seeing in the market, provided not just by MindSphere, but other vendors as well, they'll need to connect the data that is being generated by their processes to the other data that they're gathering in the organization. And MindSphere is really a key entry point in enabling them to do that. Ultimately, once they connect that data, gather it, and integrate it, the next step is to build applications that solve key problems. So fundamental things that address problems that they may have or opportunities that they may have in their organizations. Predictive maintenance is kind of the canonical example, but simple asset transparency, scheduling things, improvements in services, those can all be applications that are built on MindSphere. And finally, once that data has been integrated, those applications are built, and the business starts transforming itself, not only are the businesses able to transform themselves in the terms of how they produce and what they're doing, but new business models become available. Right? The idea being that companies which have historically produced products can now start offering sustainable digital services. So again, this has been the vision for MindSphere from the outset. And none of that has changed with the launch of 3.0. We just think we're one step closer to realizing that for our customers. So specifically on MindSphere, the launch on AWS gives us some new capabilities, but really allows us to take advantage of the AWS platform in terms of what it provides. So it allows MindSphere customers to develop these robust industrial IoT applications faster than ever before. So the AWS platform as a developer platform is really very capable. That's been validated in the market, not just by Siemens, but by many hundreds or thousands of other companies working in this space. And we have built on top of that an open platform as a service with integration of the native cloud services of Amazon. So MindSphere offers a set of services. We bring a platform as a service capability to the market with MindSphere. We believe we've offered a lot of valuable things in that, but we know we don't offer everything right now. And as part of being an open platform, we want to enable customers and partners to use the underlying services that are provided by Amazon. So they can build applications that take advantage of what MindSphere uses, and if there's something that they want to use that's not there, they can incorporate that from the underlying platform itself. One of the things that we have incorporated are some advanced analytic capabilities. So we've extended the end-user and analytic capabilities in the platform. I'll touch on that in just a moment. And drastically expanded the device and enterprise connectivity that MindSphere offers. So one of the things that's really important to us and to making sure that the market understands about MindSphere is that we envision MindSphere to be an open platform. It is not just for connecting Siemens devices. It is not just for Siemens customers. We want this to be a platform that anybody can use, whether it's the first product into a company that's Siemens related, or if a company is wall-to-wall Siemens. MindSphere should offer benefit, and does now offer benefit, to any of those customers. So the additional connectivity capabilities are really an important element of that. So beyond just being able to connect to MindSphere or Siemens PLCs and devices, we've expanded that drastically with this 3.0 release. And finally, we continue to expand the global partner ecosystem. Part of being open is being open to partners, even partners who might build applications that could ostensibly compete with elements of the Siemens organization. So we see ourselves, the MindSphere organization, as a platform provider that partners, customers, even potentially competitors could build applications on that they then take to market. So some of these things were things that we had been working to deliver to the market before, but I think with the 3.0 launch on AWS, we've taken a significant new step. Specifically, in some of these things, some of these cases, so we've expanded the end user and analytic capabilities pretty substantially. So one of the things that we want to make sure about MindSphere is that it offers capabilities out of the box to customers. When they connect their devices and they start seeing that data, we want them to be able to do things with it immediately. So we've added some custom dashboarding capability. So the visualizations that you get with the MindSphere Fleet Manager, which is kind of the core out-of-the-box application for MindSphere, offers some time series data. But for people who want to build more sophisticated or very particular dashboards, we offer some end-user driven capabilities for building dashboards and reporting. We're adding in a visual workflow creator for doing transformations and building data workflows that allow for customers or end users to take data, combine it in ways, do transformations on that, and then trigger alerts or take actions based on that data. And finally, or additionally, we have data exploration built on Tableau. So we're embedding Tableau into the application as well. So with the 3.0 release, people who have desktop licenses of Tableau can pull data from MindSphere and do visualizations there. They can publish those things back into MindSphere, or they can use the web-based authoring capability in the Tableau data exploration tool to build their own visual and interactive data visualizations. And finally, we put in a data science workbench. So for use cases where visualization and sum count average isn't quite enough, we have the ability to do sophisticated machine learning and analytics in the platform now as well. So we can build models using TensorFlow or other machine learning libraries that can add a lot of value in the right hands to the platform. Beyond the capabilities of the platform, or as we think about what MindSphere is, we think about it as this open platform as a service. And the platform is a big component of what we're doing right here, right? So these are the core services, the technical services of the platform. But really, we want MindSphere to be at the heart of an ecosystem. And so in order to support that, what we have are technical services provided by the MindSphere organization and our partners, integration services, vertical specific development services so that people in certain areas can develop applications, or we can accelerate the development of applications around certain use cases. And then go-to-market services for our partners. So things like integration into the digital exchange, the store that is being launched with the MindSphere 3.0 release. So all of these things that enable our partners or our customers to build a business on MindSphere. So we talk about this digital transformation and customers being able to offer new services. Well, part of being able to offer new services is being able to support that from a commercial perspective. And so we want to provide not just the technical capabilities, but support for those commercial aspects of that as well. And again, we have dozens of new connectors and connective capabilities, so not just device level capability, of which we have added a substantial amount, but additionally connectivity to other enterprise systems. So MindSphere in the 1.0 and the 2.0 releases was really focused on the pure time series device data. That's really valuable, that's interesting data, but what makes that takes it to the next level and enables some of the more advanced use cases is the ability to marry that data with contextual information. So, data from an ERP system, data from your services information, services system, vendor information, supply chain data. All of that data provides context for the sensor data coming off of manufacturing or instrumented systems. So the time series data is great. It's even more valuable when it's married to these other sources of data. So we've added that capability in 3.0 as well. And finally, we have the MindSphere ecosystem. This is something we have invested greatly in expanding. I think we've gone from a handful of partners to many dozens over the last 6 to 8 months since the launch of the ecosystem, and continue to see interesting and valuable collaborations with our partners, at our customers, helping to deliver MindSphere solutions, but also building out applications that then themselves will be available in the MindSphere digital exchange. So, questions?
Thank you for the presentation. I want to ask you a few. The first one is regarding, you said, the dashboard, visual workflow creation. Do you have, that was recently that you added these, or what new additions do you have in the dashboard?
So there are two technologies that we are including in the 3.0 release. One is a dashboard, pure dashboard and reporting engine, and that is based on a product that we have included called TIBCO JasperSoft, which is a well-known dashboarding technology. Additionally, we have data exploration that is powered by Tableau, which is also a visualization capability or visualization tool that is well known in the IT market and is a market-leading technology. The use cases for them are slightly different. I'd be happy to get into depth on that if you'd like to have further discussion after the meeting here.
What do you have in the way of specific industry solutions that you're targeting? Like, for example, I know this is all targeted at factories and plants and so forth in terms of that kind of ecosystem, but I'm thinking the industries going out into infrastructure and BIM and all those in other areas, in other industries perhaps even specific, maybe specific industries like aerospace and automotive and things like that. Do you have any, are you going down that road?
Yeah, we are absolutely going down that road. So the intention is to take the components that in the MindSphere system that have been released so far and build out industry solutions. Now, the way that Siemens overall is going to go about that is, one, to work closely with our partners in areas where that makes sense, right? So that we see that there are areas where IoT is moving forward rapidly, where Siemens doesn't have a large historical presence. Transportation and logistics, for instance. And we obviously have our mobility division, but if you think more about, less about moving people and more about supply chain and logistics, that's an opportunity to build out some MindSphere applications there. Siemens doesn't have a deep well of historical expertise there. And otherwise, if you look at our building technologies division or our energy management, those organizations will be our key partners to build out these specific applications and solutions. They've already started working on applications on top of MindSphere, and we'll help them go to market with those, or they will help us go to market with those, depending on how that how it shakes out. But the MindSphere organization itself will provide the underlying technical capability, and those organizations will provide the vertical expertise and help us design the solution for that. Okay. Hello.
I was curious with the clients that are Microsoft Azure oriented or Leonardo, SAP Leonardo Cloud Services oriented. How do you interface there? Is that cloud to cloud, or do you have more?
So we can certainly do cloud
level.
We can do cloud to cloud connectivity there. The intention is to make MindSphere available in fairly short order on Microsoft Azure as well. I don't know what the specific plans for Leonardo are. The version of MindSphere that runs right now is available on the SAP HANA Cloud.
I guess the applications you're doing, are those portable essentially?
They can be written in
Python or what?
They can be written in such a way as to be portable. So the underlying application development environment, or let's say Cloud Foundry, is provided as an application development tool in the platform. And application developers can choose to write their applications in such a way that they will be completely portable from one infrastructure provider to the other. Now that means that they can't then take advantage of the underlying of services that MindSphere doesn't provide in the underlying infrastructure, right? So if they want to write an application that includes AWS services, if they port that to Azure, they will then need to figure out how they want to serve up that capability that they're getting from AWS over here with Azure over here. But that's something that each individual developer or development organization could decide for themselves. So it's how much do they want to invest in portability versus getting the best features of any infrastructure platform. But we don't limit them in one way or the other. Does that answer your question?
Pretty much. But if they conform to your services, they are tethering themselves in a sense, rather than using open services, right?
That's correct. If they use services that are provided by MindSphere, then yes, they are using MindSphere services.
Wiki, where do you see these 5 years from now?
Oh, I'm not even sure I could venture a guess 5 years from now. So I mean, if we don't get Skynet, I'll be satisfied.
Do you see this as replacing any software, or is it additive on top of what systems and software that people already have? How are you seeing customers implement this?
So I don't think it is. I don't see anybody doing rip and replace of existing systems to put IoT platforms in place. So right now, I would say it's purely additive. Over time, and as the capabilities of the platforms mature, I can see that new implementations of, in certain cases, might choose to use an IoT platform instead of an existing technology. And how that shakes out will be, will depend on the use case and the underlying technologies themselves. But so right now, I don't see it as directly competitive to other technologies that have already been implemented.
So is it MES sort of?
I mean, right now, no. Eventually, there may be some overlap between MES and IoT platforms. So I mean, just to be totally clear, Siemens is not looking to replace our MES offerings with MindSphere. What the overlap in functionality of individual use cases are, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, hard to say. So what I would probably see is that we merge the IoT, or it's possible to envision merging the MES capabilities into something like MindSphere down the line. But I don't want to get in trouble with my MES colleagues. We are not competitive as of now.
Oh, there's a hole there.
Openness. It can be open to interpretation. Okay, so what we're seeing today in this environment is the emergence of platforms. Obviously, MindSphere being one, but you have competitors out there that have platforms, clearly. So when you say open, are you just talking about devices? Are you talking about platform to platform? Are you talking about, I mean, if we're really talking about an open ecosystem, how open is open here in this case?
So I think we would like to be as open as is sensible and viable, right? So I think, if you think about what is best for the customer is really how I think we want to approach it. And so I think we're willing to be open with other platforms so long as there is some reciprocity, right? So I think we don't want to be the only open platform where you write an application for MindSphere and you can take it somewhere else. You write an application somewhere else, and there's no way to get that off of there and use it in MindSphere. So I think we would be willing, I think, to work with other platform providers to find some level of mutual openness that works for everyone. So philosophically, we want to be very open. Right now, I think that the openness is really around partners who want to build applications on MindSphere, and I don't know exactly how I would envision a open exchange between, for instance, say GE Predix and MindSphere. I mean, I can imagine something like that making sense, but exactly the mechanics of that, I think the platforms themselves are probably not quite ready for that even at a technical level, let alone figuring out how that looks at a commercial or implementation level.
The market will probably shape that up.
Probably. Yes.
Yes, I'll wait for the microphone here. Can you just share a couple of examples of third parties that have developed applications for MindSphere and are actually maybe cashing checks through your digital marketplace services and such?
Well,
just
so
to give a sense.
So just the digital marketplace itself is just now being launched with Freedom. So there won't be people who have sold applications on this, but Bentley, who's going to be in here next, I think they have built an application on MindSphere, and it's really cool.
Okay.
I don't know if they are planning on showing it or not, if that's
Now they
what
have
else
to.
they're doing, but it's a really cool thing. I think that we've also had some customers, Rital, who is a customer who has built an application that they use now to offer a digital service on top of the platform. You know, I know that Atos and Egosoft and Accenture have all done a fair bit of work on apps and have launched applications. I don't know to what extent I don't know how many for which partner have
I'm
launched
just kind of
themselves.
curious
But,
what kind of solutions they were
you
providing.
know, a lot of it comes down to asset transparency, or you know, and visualization of the things that are going on in their fleets of customer fleets of assets, followed by predictive maintenance. You know, those are the two things that we see a lot of. Now, the specifics of all of those things vary quite a lot, you know, depending on the use case and the situation. But that, at a very high level, is what we're seeing traction with in the immediate terms. So both individually or both kind of in our direct customer business and our partners. One last question.
Security.
Sure. Security. So, Siemens is a very security-minded organization. I'm reminded of that every time I have to get out my PKI card and log into my computer just to get my email. So MindSphere has been built in such a way as to not increase the attack surface of any of the systems that it connects to. So the gateways that we provide are one way only. So they can read data from devices, but they don't. There's not right now a mechanism to push anything back. We connect securely to the cloud provider, and we have worked closely with AWS to implement security best practices, not just in the data management, but in the way that the code is developed, the way how developers have access to which systems and which part of it, including auditing, and some interesting things around monitoring of logins and detection of anomalous behavior, so that we have confidence that the system is secure. So no system is ever 100% secure, but from what I can see, MindSphere, we do our very, very best to, one, make sure that we don't increase security vulnerabilities in any of our customers by connecting their systems, and implement best practices, even if they're hard and expensive to the system. So we're making sure that our development processes take security into account at every step of the way.
And can MindSphere work with robots?
Yes. So, one of the questions we often get around security is, it is around that kind of, how does it communicate to the back of the device? And that's something that we're working on. We have a strategy over that we'll see the next 6 months or so. But security is one of the things that we want to make sure to do right in that specific case. So, thank you for the time this afternoon, everyone. I appreciate it so much.